is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let's go to the big story in the country today. Again, a man was detained in this Guthrie case yesterday in Rio Rico, about an hour south of Tucson. Turned out to be nothing, at least as far as we know. You never say nothing. Maybe they've got something in and around him. I don't know, but he's already been released, and he's like, I don't know why they would bother me. I had nothing to do with this. Let's go to one of two guests we have on today from Fox News. Paul Morrow will join us in the 8 o'clock hour live from Tucson. But in New York this morning, well, she's done an incredible job on this show. Donna Rotunno, who you can also watch quite a bit on Fox Nation. She's got her own show with Morrow and Ritter. Donna, good morning. How are you?
Great, Sid. How are you? Good morning.
Good. So you were on yesterday. We were just saying that this story, we all want Mrs. Guthrie to come home safe. Everybody, has to preface everything by saying that, especially on Fox News. So they get mad at you, I know. But come on. We all want that. I don't know how. I don't know how at this point, 11 days later, no proof of life, not a picture, not a sound. Maybe Kash Patel has something because he proved yesterday he's got more than we think he's got. That proves me wrong, but I don't know how any person following this story can have any real confidence this woman is alive. But let's move from that for a second here. Yesterday we thought, okay, this thing's dead. We're still talking about it all day. And then, boom, there's a video of what looks like the man who probably abducted her at the door. Yeah. The gloves, the mask, trying to hide the camera with vegetation. A gun in a holster that was too big and positioned by the center of his pants. Yeah, but it's funny, Donnie, you say in the wrong place. I saw some lady on with Laura Ingraham last night, and she said that's called a Mexican carry, that in Mexico, they actually do put the holster by the center of the pants. You know anything about that?
I don't, but I guess if I thought about it, if you've watched other, situations where gangs or narcotic ring takedowns happen, I guess you could say that is something that we have seen. So, that may give us a clue into the, race of the person behind that mask. So I think that's a good point to make, but it just looked odd, especially in that video. As you said, everything about it looked odd. The fact that backpack was full. I mean, that's not somebody that's going there to commit a robbery because you'd have an empty backpack if you wanted to take things with you. So, what was in that backpack? What was the point? And, in terms of Nancy herself, I would agree with you. The fact that we've not had any proof of life, the fact that we have, no leads beyond what we have now received in this video. And I think the video is obviously going to be very helpful. There's going to be someone out there who looks at that and says, I know that jacket, I know that backpack, and hopefully they'll do the right thing.
It is funny, though, because listening to and watching Fox News all weekend, almost every expert said, wow, I got to tell you, whoever did this, they are really advanced. I mean,
not so much.
Yeah, right. And one day it went from, boy, these people to what a bumbling idiot this guy was yesterday. And all I'm saying is he may be a bumbling idiot, and I really do believe in my heart of hearts that the FBI has even more than just this video, and they're close. They're close now, but he's a bumbling idiot, but he's still out there. So who's the idiot today?
Absolutely, you're right. He is still out there. That was a fatal error. I think that he thought that if he pulled the camera down, that it would lose whatever footage, which obviously is silly. But look, all of us for the last 10 days were told that there wasn't going to be any camera footage. So, I think the sheriff's office probably thought, oh, we can't recover it, so it's over. And it took the FBI to come in. So I think they definitely lost probably about 3 days in terms of getting that information to us sooner. Everybody's talking about, Google helping and was there a warrant and did Google violate anybody's rights and is getting that camera material problematic? It's like, well, no, it was Nancy's house. The only person that would have the right to that privacy is Nancy. So, anybody else that they find on that camera is fair game, whether they had a warrant to get it or not.
I heard one expert say yesterday that he believed, and he's got no proof of this, just his opinion, that the backpack may have been filled with rope, maybe even a retractable shovel, all these things that would aid this person in getting rid of Nancy Guthrie, because the expert made the point that it didn't make any sense for this person to take Nancy with them or him. What were they going to do with her? And he was trying to make an argument that something happened maybe behind the house, maybe behind Annie's house, because the last thing this guy or these guys wanted to do was have some 84-year-old lady with them and trying to take care of her or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
He basically said, that this was not really a kidnapping. It was more of an abduction, and that guy was prepared to kill her or for the absolute worst. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's a possibility, but to what end, right? What are you gaining from that if you don't have somebody who's alive in order to negotiate? What are you trying to get? It's just the thrill of, killing and harming somebody. I mean, anything is possible. I agree that backpack had to be filled with something that he was intending to use, because otherwise, why carry that with you? Now, we do have the blood on the front porch. So the blood on the front porch that does match Nancy, that right then and there tells us that she was at least outside at some point. And so, it seems like if they would have killed or he would have killed or attempted to dismantle her, you'd have a lot more physical evidence in that home. Now, maybe they have it and they're not telling us. I mean, that's always a possibility. But I don't think if there was a lot of physical evidence in that house, the sheriff would have released that house as quickly as they did.
I agree with you. This is the great Donna Rotunno. She's already been on Fox News this morning, doing an incredible job on Fox News since this Nancy Guthrie story broke, and has her own show with Paul Morrow and Josh Ritter on Fox Nation. All right, so let's move forward now. Yesterday, we see the video. A lot of hope now. A lot of us believe, like you, the FBI, that mask, they can take it off, and they can basically figure out what this person looks like without a mask. I mean, this guy, whoever he is, he's in deep doo-doo. They're going to get him. But then, all of a sudden, we see a ton of police and cars all around, once again, Annie Guthrie's house. Or I should say, Tomas, her husband. Not just in her house. In all fairness, they were knocking on neighbors' doors, looking behind some of these homes in that wooded area. So it's just odd that after spending 3 hours at Annie's house Saturday, that there they were again yesterday in that same community in and around Annie and Tomas's house. Should I take anything from that?
Well, if Tomas is at least a person of interest, and again, it could be that they were the last people to see her and they're just trying to cross every T and dot every I. But as we talked about yesterday, they would be remiss and they would be negligent if they didn't at least investigate the people that she was last with. So they go to that house, and now that they have a picture of a jacket and a backpack, and maybe they want to look in that house again and see if anything in that house matches what we see on that video.
Right. And, I heard somebody say yesterday, because people are like, we don't know anything. Somebody was talking to Hunt yesterday outside the police station. He's on about 100 times a day. He's great. Yeah. And they said, we don't even know who took her home. But yet I heard somebody else say on Fox News an hour before that Tomas took her home. So do we not know who took her home, or did Tomas take her home?
We were told that she had dinner with Annie and Tomas and that they took her home. So whether it was them together or him by himself, but that's what we've been told from the beginning. Now, we were also told she didn't show up at church, and then we find out later, well, no, it wasn't church. It was she didn't show up at her friend's house to go to church. And so, who knows whether that's...
By the way, I also heard that she didn't go to church lately because she wasn't feeling well and she was doing it online.
Yeah, she had been doing it online since COVID, they were saying. So this idea that somebody called and then some, now they're like, well, who called? And so there's definitely a lot of questions out there. But the story that we've been told from the beginning was that she had dinner with Annie and her husband and that she was brought home by them. So, again, and if it was Tomas, you would think he would know that there was a camera at their door.